Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Neal Duncan. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. We're going to talk with Southeastern University Athletic Director Drew Watson, and we're going to talk some golf with Cleveland Heights' Brock Witmyer and Aidan McDowell from George Jenkins High School. Stick around, everybody, for this week's edition of Sports Central. Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Kris Keprios. And it's been a while since we've been on the show together.
Yeah, a long time. I was actually had a chance to come back on. They needed the ratings to come up, so they had me come on, I think a couple months ago. And but no, this is the first time we've hosted together, so it's good to be back. Probably the last time.
It'll be fine. You know, Mark and Hank will come back and they'll throw us out and the ratings will go down. But this first segment brought to us by Hollywood Windows and Signs, great partners of tourism and sports marketing, and really have been an integral part. And we'll talk a little bit about it in the fourth segment, health and safety campaigns and things like that, but with signage needs, ensuring that folks are feeling safe as they get back out to activities. Well, speaking of good partners, our first segment, we've got one of the best partners of tourism and sports marketing, and that's Drew Watson, the athletic director at Southeastern University, and no stranger to Sports Central. But Drew, welcome back, and you're a little bit away, but you know, social distancing.
We're appropriately distanced.
That's
here.
right. But
nice to be here. Thank you, Neal.
Well, we're thrilled to have you back, and there's been a lot that's gone on since last time we saw you.
Yeah, a few things.
How are things at Southeastern?
They're great. We've had a busy summer, obviously with COVID hitting in March and the women's basketball national tournament and the men's tournament the plug being pulled on them early as our teams were participating. We really haven't done anything sports-wise since then. So been an exciting week for us. We've had men's and women's soccer back on Monday. Football and volleyball are reporting today as we speak. So really excited to see student athletes. They're excited to be back. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, as you know, we actually got an opportunity on the radio version of Sports Central last night to talk to Tim Hayes, the head basketball coach of the women's team, and they were, 3 years in a row had lost to the national champion.
Yeah.
This year, he felt like they finally figured that part out.
Yes. Yeah.
And won their first game of the tournament
By 55 points.
By 55, yeah, it was a small margin.
Yeah.
But I asked him, I said, what's worse, to lose with a shot at the buzzer, or to lose not even having a chance to compete for the title? And he's like, that's easy. And we felt like we had it figured out. So talk a little bit about, baseball. They were possibly making another run for a national title. Let's talk about the suspension of the season, and then we can move forward with what's going on now.
Sure. I think for me, I was in Sioux City when the women's basketball tournament was canceled, watching the game, and was courtside when I got the text with about a minute left in the game that the tournament was over. And so to have a locker room, so I walked up behind the bench, told the coaches, and his body just sunk. And then we're standing in the hallway talking about how we handle this, and we hear the girls in the locker room just whooping it up. They're fired up, they're excited, we're moving on. And to walk in and deliver, one sentence, and to see those emotions turn 180, it was really tough. It's probably my toughest moment as an athletic director, to watch that happen, and just to help those young ladies through that in the next 10, 15 minutes, and then since then has been just it's been interesting, but they're fine. I think as Tim will put it, it's like they're grieving the loss of an opportunity, and they really had a great shot at a national championship. And you mentioned baseball. Baseball was number one in the country when things were halted. I believe we had hit 47 home runs in 10 games or something ridiculous like that, and just really playing well, and felt like opportunities that were there were not afforded to us. But that's life, and it's a great opportunity for us to teach those student athletes, hey, life doesn't always go the way that you want it. How are you going to handle it? So it's been a good opportunity for that.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Drew, in perspective on it. But you mentioned a second ago, you talked about how it was to share that news with the team that the tournament was over because of everything going on, being your worst moment. There's probably been a lot of bad moments between then and now. But now, looking forward, like you just mentioned, it's a happy time. You got teams coming back on campus. Talk about, obviously, it's a minefield right now of things changing by the minute. But what are some of the steps you all are taking and have to take to ensure their safety and to ensure you're able to play a season coming up?
Yeah, well, the plain truth of it is we can't 100% protect student athletes from getting COVID.
Of course.
I mean, it's going to happen. We're accepting that, but we've got to do everything we can to make sure we're protecting them. And some of that, each student athlete when they come back is being antigen tested and antibody tested. We feel that's important because if we know who's got the antibody, that helps us with contact tracing later on, gives us a better chance to stay on the field. But we've got all sorts of protocols from daily screenings. All of our students are going to have to get up, take their temperature, and report it every day before they head out of their dorm room. But our athletes have another level where when they report to their athletic facility, they're also going to be screened. And so, then it goes on to fogging the fitness center, fogging the locker rooms, making sure the facilities are as safe as they can be. So, I think we're excited because, as you know, around the country, a lot of folks are pulling the plug on the fall. And we've just looked at the data, and we feel like a lot of these athletes have struggles with mental health issues, with depression, anxiety, and sports helps them with that. And so to afford them the opportunity to play really gets them working back in the right direction. And who knows, maybe sometime in the fall we're going to have to pull the plug, but we feel like it's great to give the athletes the opportunity to start here and then just adjust as we need to.
Absolutely, and even I guess Governor DeSantis came out yesterday saying, "Hey, I want to see if I can throw my weight around and get this Florida State game to be played."
Yeah.
He said, sports has shown to be a unifier. He's like, "Well, maybe not this game necessarily.
Yes.
It doesn't unify the state,
Yeah,
but it's
he's
something."
absolutely right.
but it's a social interaction and opportunity for folks to come out. So with that, I know there's been some discussions as to capacity.
Yeah.
I know that you don't have a lot of those answers quite yet, and that's fine. But talk about if a Southeastern fan or someone who hasn't been out to a game before, what can they maybe anticipate at a football contest this fall?
Yeah, we're looking at the governor's mandates in phase 2, and we believe we can have fans in the stadium. At this point, we're looking at half capacity and masking up. And I know masks are such a controversial topic. And I know it's in the low 90s when we play football, but we feel like we can keep, because a lot of our constituents, a lot of our fans are in that higher risk age group. And so we want to make sure that we're taking that in mind. So it's going to be masked up in our stadium. We're also adjusting kind of where people walk. So our Fire Club members who are older than our students will be separated from the students. Students aren't going to be walking through that section. And so I think what we found with our season ticket holders is there's an acceptance that there's going to be a change at the stadium, and that we haven't had any complaints. And as you said, Neal, we haven't landed on exactly what we're doing, but we look forward to having fans in the stadium. And then obviously the indoor arenas, volleyball is going to be a little bit different with social distancing and masks. And so we're looking at that. It's time consuming, and as you know, it changes every day.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, and certainly, like we said, Drew, there's no playbook for this. We're all in uncharted territory, and they don't teach a lot of how to fog a gym in sports management classes, probably when you were in school, I guess. But so with that, how have you adjusted, and how have you made these decisions? Have you been in constant contact with other schools, and I'm sure there's been a lot of contact between those other athletic directors
I think it starts at the university level. We have a CRT, coronavirus response team, and I'm on that committee, so it's good for the AD to be sitting at that table and know what the university is doing, because we have about between a third and a quarter of the student athletes of the whole students on campus. And so it's working with those folks, working with the Department of Health and the state, and then looking at our other athletic departments, what are D1s doing across the state and across the nation, and just getting all that information, compiling it, and figuring out what's best for us.
Well, and we're actually going to see a package from a couple of years ago in a few minutes that I was able to get out to Southeastern and interview Drew. I think it was 2 seasons ago, and talk about that. But in that package, if I remember correctly, we talk about, this day and age of being able to record or on demand. So you can be a Florida State, Miami fan, and maybe you're able to get to those games this year, maybe you're not. But with recording capabilities, you can go to the Southeastern game and then go home and watch your Miami or Florida State or Florida game. Well, really Florida State, because who wants to watch Florida or Miami? But that's another topic. But with that game day experience, so I'm assuming there's going to be plenty of information put out there to fans and how they can experience that. What's a website or what's a Twitter handle that people can track the progress of Southeastern sports?
It's SEUfire.com, and we broadcast our games for free, but we're going to try and enhance those broadcasts a little bit because we know more people are going to be watching. But I think the message is any way you want to watch the Fire, it's going to be available to you. You can come out in person, you can watch it online. We want people to feel comfortable, but we've got student athletes back, and I've spent some time with them this week, and they are excited. I mean, they are, you would think maybe there's some nervousness, what if I get this, there's really not, in the student athletes at least. And so it's really going to be good for them to have fans at their arenas and know that people are watching. So I appreciate you asking that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. And one more time, where can they get more information?
SEUfire.com.
Okay. We appreciate it, Drew, and thanks so much. And we'll keep having you on either the television version of Sports Central or the radio, so we can keep folks updated on Southeastern University activities.
Be happy to. Thank you.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thanks for joining us. Well, I got a little ahead of myself. Before we see the Southeastern football package, we're going to see USA softball. They were here in January before everything really started to shut down. They were on their march to the Tokyo Games, which have now been postponed to 2021. But it was a great opportunity to see USA softball right here in Polk County. Let's take a look at that footage, and Kris and Neal will be back right here on Sports Central.
This is a pretty special team. You've got 18 really phenomenal people that play softball. And so if you can get the best 18 together and spend as much time as we're going to spend together over the next 220 days, it gives yourself a chance to win in the locker room and the dugout, which obviously is going to give you a chance to win on the ball field, and I think we have that.
Well, today was the first day, so this Olympic experience has been phenomenal. I mean, everyone, just the energy of everyone coming in yesterday, we all got together and we went to dinner together, and it was like we haven't been apart. So it was pretty exciting, and coming out today and being able to get on the field. And I mean, I'm from Michigan, so being outside on dirt, it feels good, ready to get it rolling.
Team physics, chemistry, dynamics, all of it right now is at a really, really high pitch right now. And I think it's because they spent a lot of time together in the past 3-4 years, and now they have a defined, objective. And that makes it a lot easier for athletes.
The experience with all of us, I mean, some of us, like I've played with Val and Mish since 2012, so it's been a minute. Some of the girls started in like 2013. I would say a good chunk of us have all played together for the last six years at least. Some actually played college ball together, so there's definitely a wide range. And but I mean, everyone's known each other, been in like the tryouts, just the USA family for a while now. So.
No, we probably have the most experienced team internationally that we've had in a long, long time. These guys have been playing international ball since 2011. They've been in a world. We have like 4 or 5 players that have been in world championships, 4 or 5 times at least. We have 2 Olympians that are on our team. So you've got a lot of players that have come through our program and played USA softball. It's very rare that you get to have an Olympic program without having experience, and we're fortunate that everybody on our team has had that experience.
Once Japan got announced that it was going to be in the Olympics, we've gone to Japan every year since. So I've been to Japan, and I played professionally in Japan. So I've been to Japan probably like 8 or 9 times, and just getting used to that culture and all of that. We've played in Italy, we've been to the Netherlands, like Canada, like we've been all over the place, Dominican, Puerto Rico. So we've gotten to experience a lot of things, and we're extremely fortunate to be able to travel all around the world and do what we love. So it's been out since 2008. This will be the first, 2020 is the first one since 2008. So that's huge. And in Japan, they love baseball and softball. So it's huge there. So it's exciting for it to be back then. It stinks that it's not going to be in, the next one in France, but it should get back in the one after that, hopefully. But it's not going to stop us. I feel like we gained so much momentum since 2008, kind of like took a little dip, and we've gained so much. Like, I don't see it going back down. I really think that the energy is there for the sport, and it's going to continue to grow. And right now we just partnered with the MLB, so I feel like that's going to help the energy. More people following softball. Everyone loves softball, so more people on board, and I think it's going to be great for the sport.
To all the young kids that aspire to be Olympians, to all the young kids that even aspire to get to college, and they have a dream to go to every level along the way, I think the best thing to talk about is if it's not fun, then forget it, okay? Because these players, every day they come out here, it's like the first time they put the uniform on. Not like play it as hard as you want because it's the last game and have that play it like you're a little girl. We've got 34-year-old women that are playing it like they're 6 years old, playing, pony ball for the first time, and it's a game. And keep that in perspective, and keep it positive, and be at it. And the next part about our game, if it doesn't work today, it's going to work tomorrow. Just keep at it. Just keep at it and have fun, man.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Kris Keprios, and pretty cool footage there.
Yeah, actually, I was there when they filmed it. They didn't ask me to do any interviews. I guess I wasn't good enough. But no, it was that.
Well, there was a strong vetting process to let people around the Team USA.
Yeah, no, that was a cool event though, and it was at Florida Southern College, my alma mater.
Great partners.
Great facility there, softball facility. They've redone. I was there, and I went to school there. I graduated a little bit further back, but. They have completely redone that athletic area there, the fields and everything. It's amazing. So great facilities.
Speaking of amazing, this segment sponsor, Stay Bridge and Suites in Lakeland. They're great partners of tourism and sports marketing. We want to thank them for this segment sponsorship. Well, our next guest on Sports Central is a up-and-coming and really good golfer. In fact, the only reason we invited him on, truth be told, is so Kris and I's golf game can improve, because we're going to get some tips from him. But we want to welcome to Sports Central Aidan McDowell. He's from George Jenkins High School and recently won the Junior Citrus tournament over at Cleveland Heights. And welcome to Sports Central.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, full disclosure, I actually know Aidan. Aidan played baseball for me when I was coaching my son's
You
team.
played a
when they
role
were
in
probably
success, right?
Actually, I did. When he was 9 or 10 years old, he saw how horrible of a baseball coach I was, that he wanted nothing to do with the sport anymore and made the switch to golf. So really, he and his parents both credit me for his success on the course. Right, Aidan?
Yeah, totally.
They literally said, before we went on air, they said that was his last season playing baseball after he was on your team. So I don't think it's a coincidence.
We're going to take the positive vibe from that. But Aidan, talk about, obviously, you've been playing golf for a little while now, and being introduced into the sport, then finding you were good in the sport, and then, we only have an hour show. We can't go through all the accolades that you've recently, we did mention you won the Junior Citrus Cup recently, but talk about kind of that progression and why you loved golf, and then how it started clicking for you.
Yeah, so I started off playing 6th grade, and I was kind of in between sports, and Dad was pushing me to play golf, and I went out and I was kind of just natural at it. I could do different things with the ball, and I got attached to it, and over the years I really fell in love with the game and just want to play and enjoy it.
And for those wanting to get into it or have their kid, like I have a 7-year-old, he loves golf. But you talked about how you got interested. How did you start out? Like, did you start taking lessons? Did you get involved in First Tee program? What?
Just going out with my dad, and then
Nice.
that kind of evolved into lessons because he didn't really know exactly what to do, and then that just started it all.
Nice.
I think one of the things that we've always known, whether it's on the tourism side or being able to host major golf events in Polk County, is we have a number of great courses in Polk County, and at those courses you have a number of individuals that are highly skilled in training. We have the junior or the First Tee, and you have the junior tournament. Talk about why those events are so important, because it's one thing to go out and hit a bucket of balls, but that competition, that drive, that pressure. Talk a little bit about
Playing in the events and just like you said, the competition and the pressure. It's a whole different dynamic than just going out and playing by yourself or with some buddies. You're playing for something. Your pride's on it. A lot of people watching. So it's just a different feeling. I think it's a better feeling than just going out and playing 9 or hitting balls, but I really enjoy it.
And talk about, because it's an individual sport, you knew my son Logan, and
Yeah.
he used to play golf, and then he moved over to football. But we always had a conversation about you have to have that internal drive, because there's a team component to it, but really during the golf meets, you're playing with whoever you're partnered with. You're not even really with your teammates.
Yeah.
So you have to have that self-focus, and talk a little bit what drives you to be so good.
Just my dad and kind of seeing what a future could be in golf.
I was going to jump in too there for a second, because Neal talked about it being an individual sport. Yeah, it's a team sport, but for me, and I'm horrible, like you were saying. I was talking about my son playing golf. I'm the same way. I'm horrible. He's better than I am, but the mental part of it. So yeah, it's one thing to play, have a fun round of you get through 8 or 9 holes, but then I start losing focus. How do you keep that focus for 18 holes? You're in a tournament, you're trying to win. How does that?
It's definitely tough. The first part of it, you're really there, and then towards the end, it's tough to stay in it. But just having the light at the end of the tunnel to push forward and see, and you do something a little bit better, you get a better score, it just ups your motivation to get it done and have the best score possible.
And you recently won the Junior Citrus Cup. Talk about that. I see where you won some other events, but that's kind of like one of those major events, and kind of probably for a local Polk County golfer, that's definitely one you want to win. Talk about your round or your couple rounds that it took to win that.
Yeah, I mean, for years I've wanted to win the tournament, and I saw Brock Witmyer, and that was kind of the name that I always had in my head for the tournament and the person to beat, but I was too young to compete with him. And just every year it's a different feeling there, and that's the one that I personally just try to go after. And I was really close last year, came down to losing by a stroke, and I ended up winning by a stroke this year. But I fought hard, played good. Could have played better, but that's always. But it was good to get it done.
Well, Neal talked earlier about the great course, over 40 golf courses in the county. You grew up playing here, started in 6th grade. Outside of, we're going to talk to Brock Witmyer from Cleveland Heights in a minute. Outside of Cleveland Heights, we know that's a great course. What are some other good courses you like to play around Polk County?
I typically practice at Eagle Brook, but there's Lone Palm, Grasslands, the YMCA Par 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stream Song is in Polk County. It might just be right out. Yeah, I just played out there. That place is wonderful. There's Cypress
Wood, maybe.
Cypress Wood, that
nice.
might be just in the outskirts of it up north, but.
And that's got to be an advantage for kids growing up. I mean, I know for my son playing golf, like you said, Neal, we have so many courses here in Polk County. We got to have that advantage over other areas with kids growing up playing the game. It's a nice part.
Absolutely. We have a great research team, and they've done a good job of providing us some information here. I want to see if you think this is true. This is what it says. Katie McDowell, okay? That's
her?
That's her, her, right? That'd be the sister. Mm-hmm. Is she really better than you? That's what it says.
I'm
just kidding.
There'll be times where I leave and she gets the better, positioning.
So is there a friendly competition there with the younger sister?
I wish there was. I wish she would go out enough and have the drive like me to push and stuff like that, but she's
young though. She has time for that.
She needs to get the time to really fall in love with the game for her to want to go out and actually do it. But whenever we get her to go out, she's really good. She understands it. It's just, I think the next step for her is the personal, getting attached to it and wanting that.
Well, that's fantastic, and as the sport continues to emerge with more participants and people wanting to get out, the outdoors and things like that, that's fantastic. Let's talk about, I know there's uncertainty, we only have a couple minutes left here, but not knowing whether golf is going to be, the competition will be in the fall, will be moved to the spring. How are you mentally getting ready for your season? And I'm assuming a goal of trying to go capture a state title.
Yeah, I'm just trying to prepare like usual, not really throw anything in the usual process that I wouldn't do. I'm trying to get some of the other boys on the team to go out and really start practicing like it is the season right now. I was just texting my coach last night, and there's a bunch of uncertainty when it's going to be. Could be the end of the month, could be wintertime. So I'm preparing like it's, next week's our first match.
Well, good luck with that, and we certainly appreciate your time coming in. We know you were on the radio version a couple weeks ago, taking the time to come in today. Congratulations on all your success, and we wish you and your sister all the luck in the upcoming season. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, with that, we promised it earlier, and we're going to take a look at it now. Southeastern University football, the plan is right now for them to come back in the fall. We'll see how that works out, but we'll take a look at a package of a couple years ago where we caught up with Drew Watson talking about the experience that is Southeastern University football. Check this out. Kris and Neal will be right back here on Sports Central. Hey, thanks, guys. Neal Duncan here for Sports Central at Victory Field on the campus of Southeastern University. We're getting ready for a top 20 matchup. Before we do, we're going to talk to the athletic director here at Southeastern, Mr. Drew Watson. And Drew, what a great atmosphere here. Game day.
Yeah, it's game day, and as you said, 2 ranked teams. This is the first time in school history that we've had 2 ranked teams on this field. So we're excited. It's hot out here, so hopefully the fans come out and we have a great day.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, the great atmosphere. It is warm. You guys are used to night games, but a day game, so it's changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, Neal, we've had 1 day game in our history, and it was kind of like this. The turnout wasn't great, but that was in our first year. So we're hoping even with the Gators playing tonight that we get some Gator fans out and to support Fire football because it's a great environment.
I was actually going to speak to that. We have 3 football teams, college football teams here in Polk County, obviously Southeastern being one of them. And if you're a Florida State, Miami, whoever your team is, DVR, the ability to record, there's no reason you shouldn't come out to one of these games.
Absolutely. I mean, college football in Lakeland. And it's if you've not been out to a game, it is a tremendous experience. And usually it's when the sun's going down. We've got the flames coming off the scoreboard. You're going to see that in a few minutes. Dragonfly flames off the field. But we try and do a good job of making this feel like a Division I atmosphere. It's not just coming to a game and watching some football. It's watching good football, and you've got a great atmosphere.
Well, I think to that point, it's not Division I, but don't be mistaken that it's not good football.
Well, and that's a misconception about NAIA football. And we even get it in players that are trying to come here. Well, it's only NAIA. It's not that good football. It really is. I mean, we've had fans sitting up here. We just graduated our first class last year. And fans coming to those first few games are like, wow, that running back's D1 caliber. That kicker's D1 caliber. Quarterback's doing great. So it's not, it's not Florida State or Florida, but it's a high level of football, and I think people will be surprised when they come out here.
Let's not talk about Florida State right now because I think your offensive line's probably better than their offensive line, but I'll move on. Talk about, it's a young program still, and you look at all the amenities and the administration, the way they have supported this program, not just football, but all sports. Talk about the growth here at Southeastern.
Well, Dr. Ken Engel, the leadership team, and they do a tremendous job of visioning to what we can do to become bigger, better, how we can help students develop who they are. But really one of our philosophies is if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. And so when we built this stadium, when the administration started to dream about football, well, we're not going to go off campus to play football. We're not going to play at a high school field, even though our high school field in town is pretty good. But what we decided to do is build something that is quality, that is a great recruiting piece, and that people look at and say, man, that is a quality program. That's not just the team on the field. It's the way they do every single thing. And really that carries off to the university. We're putting up a building over here, the Welcome Center. They made sure they did that right. It's going to be a tremendous experience for people that walk in that door that are looking at Southeastern.
Well, this football team has a great opportunity to make a deep run in the playoffs. Kind of tripped up right out of the gate with somewhat of a surprising loss, but have won every game since. Top 20 matchup here. You and I can talk all day about how great it is, but we probably ought to let the action take care of it. Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Kris Keprios, and some good action there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get back to some football.
I've been wanting to get out to one of their games. It looks a beautiful stadium.
Oh,
It looks
yeah.
like a great atmosphere for some college football right here in Polk County. That's the cool thing about it.
And if they're able to resume, I'm sure they'll be covered by the sports staff at the Ledger Media Group, which just happens to be
What a
this
segue.
segment.
That's why we're the A team on this show.
Hey, that's talent there. That's talent there. Speaking of talent, our next guest plays golf way better than Kris and I could ever think of.
It's a theme in this show today.
It's not that they're that good. We're just that
Yeah,
bad.
it was bad, yeah.
But Brock Witmyer from Cleveland Heights Golf Course, and Brock not only runs the show over there, but a great partner of tourism and sports marketing. So we always appreciate everything that you do to assist us in our efforts. But a lot has changed, of course, with COVID-19. social distancing. Golf is one of those sports that you can efficiently play in social distance. And talk to us just kind of like how the last few months have been and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, like you said, we're outdoors. It's been crazy for everybody, but the golf industry is booming right now. Everybody's wanting to be outside, whether that's playing golf, tennis, or whatever. But fortunately, it's been great for Cleveland Heights. We've taken a lot of protocols and precautions to make people safe. And so with that being said, golf's doing very well.
Well, and I think it's important to, golf as technology and as more things have taken attention away from maybe specific sports, golf has honestly been one that's been hurting a little bit as far as participation on the recreational side. There's been more things to distract people. So positive, not that we're wanting COVID-19,
right.
Certainly, but one of those positive things, as you mentioned, more people are getting back outdoors, and I've seen in my own neighborhood, I see more people walking around than ever did before, and so you're saying you're seeing that in the golf industry?
Absolutely. We were closed down 38 days. We got closed down and then we opened back up. And in May we were up 1,600 rounds. In June we were up 1,800 rounds,
wow.
And in July we're up 2,000 rounds to last year. So, as you said though, if as you look at that property, whether it's the walking trail, the dog park,
Yep.
people are outside. We're seeing new people playing golf, new faces. Families are coming out. Even if folks are just coming out using a driving range, they're out there at the property. We got a great food and beverage operation going on there. So there's a lot of energy at Cleveland Heights right now.
Well, those numbers are amazing. You talk about the increase in rounds, and we talk about it all the time with bringing in sporting events. You got to not give the field. Sometimes you have to give the field time to rest. But I mean, I was out there recently. The course is in great shape. Talk about there is a balance between increasing rounds, but you still got to keep and maintain the course. So how are y'all doing that so well with the course in great shape?
You're exactly right. We were closed down. Being closed down wasn't good for the cash register, but it was good for the facility. With that being said, though, we have an outstanding maintenance operations superintendent, and it keeps the facility going. So, fortunately, we have 27 holes. So when we are doing maintenance on one of the, we have 18 holes open, so we can close 9 holes at a time, and that gives us an opportunity to do that. That's why having 27 holes is so important.
Yeah, and with golf, obviously, we were talking about earlier, with being not a contact sport, it's outside, but there is some contact involved. If you're playing with a foursome or whatever, talk about some of the steps you're taking to just totally reduce that contact that you would normally have on a golf course.
Right. From when you check in the golf course, we're not letting folks in the pro shop. There's a window there that they can check in. Golf carts, you're riding by yourself, unless you're in the same household. As far as water fountains and ball washers and those kinds of things, we got those covered. We don't want people handling that. There's no coolers on the golf course. The beverage cart, they're selling cold drinks and things for folks out there. But the social distancing has been really good. I think we've done a good job. We were prepared for that, and then we were closed down. But we had everything in place to maintain the facility and keep it open.
Now, are you hearing that other courses are experiencing similar spikes, if you maybe that's not a good word to use, increased participation at those courses?
Absolutely. When we were closed, I was talking to folks in the industry that they were open, and folks were out there playing golf. Depending on where you live, if you have a golf course close to you, you're going to that golf course, or if you like that golf course better. But the industry's up for sure.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And, you talked about some of the areas that are closed down. How about F&B, food and beverage? What is available there? Is a restaurant open? What's the food and beverage situation?
Yeah, 1916 Irish Pub is the name of the restaurant. They're open. They're 50% capacity. They haven't done events and things like that because of what's going on in our world. But it's been a good partnership because the golf courses really helped them with golfers coming out being as busy as we are, and folks are frequenting the restaurant. Even his patio, an outdoor, you can sit out there and look at the golf course and you're outdoors. So folks like that as well. So they've done a good job disinfecting the facility and doing things that they're supposed to do, the protocols they're taking. So it's been a good fit for us.
Obviously, one big part of your operation in the past has been hosting events, whether it's golf tournaments, things like that. Obviously, that can't happen now. Do you have plans in place or projections as to when you might start seeing some events start opening back up, or?
Yeah, folks are a lot of tournaments were canceled and they're recontacting us. Where we're at right now is we don't know, like everything else, we don't know what's going to happen in 30, 60, 90 days. So with the golf cart restrictions, it's hard to have big golf events out there. If you're going to have a golf event, it's going to be around 80 players. So we can have one person per cart. As we spoke earlier, Aidan was out there. That junior citrus was our first tournament. But the kids are walking, so they're distancing. So that felt good to have an event finally. Get things some normalcy back a little bit. But to answer your question, it's just going to be slow, and we're going to just take things as they come. Fortunately, we're golfing and things like that, and who knows when it will be back to some normalcy.
Well, Neal touched on it earlier. You mentioned Aidan, and we talked to him about learning to play and having the resources around the county. You have those resources right there. You all offer lessons. I know in a normal world you do summer camps and things like
Absolutely.
that.
We have lessons for kids, group lessons on the weekends, and adults. You can get individual lessons. We have a junior citrus program this summer where there's some golf instruction. But we're very kid friendly. We do a lot with the high schools. They have their matches there. Southeastern College athletic director was here. They play the golf out there in the middle school. So it's a good thing having the kids out there. And right now, that's keeping them busy, something to do for everybody's well-being. And now mom and dad are coming out.
They're your future customers.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. So this, it's been a bad thing and it's been horrible. But in many ways, it's changed some things for the better.
Are all 27 open?
All 27 are open.
Which helps as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Having group upon group stacked on top of each other.
It's just crazy because during the summer's our off season. And right now, if you don't make a tee time by Tuesday or Wednesday for the weekend in the morning, Saturday, Sunday, you're not going to get out till in the afternoon.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you talk about the walking trail. If we can, talk about that a little more in depth. That was something that was added. How long has it been now?
About 3 years.
2-3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's an opportunity for people to be around that beautiful piece of property without actually having to play golf. Yeah.
It really is. If you look at the area there, it's a true multi-purpose facility. We got the walking trail and a dog park. And that kind of connects to Peterson Park, Wood Lake Park, and Common Ground Park. They're all right there.
Right.
Not many communities have those amenities right there like that, and it's so important that it connects everything together. So, father and son or father and daughter could be playing golf, mom could be down at the dog park. Everybody's doing something, and we all meet at the restaurant and have lunch.
Well, I have a problem with it. It's great when I'm not playing, but it's just another worry I have when I strike the ball. Did it hit any of those houses? Is it going towards anybody walking on the trail?
Right.
The dog park for me is in play on that hole every time.
Yeah,
So we need to get lessons to figure that out, Brock.
There was some concern when we first did that. Some of the golfers are worried about it, but it's, knock on wood, it's been great.
Truthfully, it is a non-issue.
And really, it's another example. I think we maybe mentioned this at the top, but part of the city of Lakeland, and you are a city facility, if you will, and that whole complex. Another example of just what a great resource, like you said, the city has for their, and really the county has for county residents to go and experience all of that whole stretch like you're talking about.
Yeah, we're so proud of all those amenities. We did the renovations on each 9 holes. We did that. We just did an irrigation renovation, so we've done a lot out there. It's one of the best municipal facilities probably in the state of Florida.
Oh, definitely.
And absolutely.
And the main thing too, it's affordable. It's folks can come out there and play golf and have a great day, and it's affordable for people.
Well, and that's a credit to the city of Lakeland for offering something that is, one of those quality of life things. It's a venue that we can recruit things into, but it's also for quality of life and the folks in the area, not just Lakeland, but in Polk County, to your point, Kris. Well, I know there's not a lot to talk about because, as you said, 30, 60, 90 days, but is there anything planned in the future for that, for Cleveland Heights, or is it just about trying to get back to some normalcy?
No, we'll have some tournaments and things coming up. We have some early discussions. We met with some folks that maybe want to have a golf tournament around week of Super Bowl involving the NFL players and some celebrities. We're in early discussions on that right now. That would be a good exposure for us. And some of these athletes, alumni could come from Orlando and Tampa, and Lakeland's kind of the middle ground. And so we're having those discussions, but we'll see how that plays out, you know. But we're looking forward to some good things coming.
Well, there's been some extraordinary events in the past that have been held there, and of course, as you know, we lost a legend earlier this year, Ken Riley, and I know the last number of years Ken's foundation had hosted their event there, and you want to talk about A-list celebrities coming in and being a part of that, and you know, I'll put, you know, you have private courses and you have all these other, I will put our municipal courses in Polk County against a lot of private courses elsewhere, and that's a perfect example of A-list celebrities coming in to people think, oh, municipal course, but it's as good as anything out there.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, it's affordable. We have the 27 holes, and you know, Ken was a great tournament over there.
Yeah.
Great to work with, and talking to some of the folks in his inner circle, I think we're going to keep the event going. And hopefully, and hopefully, like I said, we get back to some normalcy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brock, thanks so much for the time. Next time we have you come in, maybe we'll do 2 segments with you because there's so much to talk about. But great course over there and a great partnership, and we appreciate you in Cleveland
Thanks
Heights.
for having me. Always enjoyed it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, after you go to Cleveland Heights and play that course, you know, as we've mentioned numerous times on the show, there's plenty of great tracks in Polk County. You might want to head down to Stream Song, and we've got a feature segment package here on Stream Song. Check it out. Kris and Neal will be right back here on Sports Central.
Welcome to Stream Song Resort. My name is Matt Jordan. I'm one of 2 PGA head golf professionals. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about putting here. I'm on Stream Song number 17 Blue, and the Blue golf course was designed by Tom Doak of Renaissance Golf. When playing the Blue course, you're going to see that there's quite a few undulations in our greens, and our greens are very fast and firm. So what I'm going to do today is talk to you about reading the greens. Very difficult to do when you have all these undulations. When you have a straight putt, something that's level, you can just aim for the hole and hit it. But what the golf course architect did was put all of these mounds and hills to make it more difficult for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to survey my putt. As I step back here, I'm taking a look at the golf ball and I'm looking at the hole. First thing that I see is that we have an uphill putt. You can see as I'm starting to walk towards this pin how much of an uphill as I start to climb all the way up to the peak here. So I know that I'm going to have to hit this a little bit firmer. The second thing I'm going to do is I notice that it's a little bit higher up on that side of the green than it is down here. So I'm going to step back further away and I'm going to see that it is downhill from this point. So I know standing back there that I got to hit it uphill, I got to hit it a little firmer, and I'm going to see the putt start breaking a little bit more to this way, to the right. So as I walk back over here to take a look at my putt, and I stand back here, I can see this thing going uphill, so I'm going to have to hit it firmer. And now I got to figure out how much I have to hit it to the left so that it breaks to the right. What I do in my mind is I visualize a bucket of water, and I'm throwing this bucket of water towards the pin. And which way is this gravity, this water is going to start flowing towards the hole. When I do that, I can kind of visualize and see that this is probably going to break about 5 feet. So as I set up to hit this putt, I'm going to aim 5 feet to the left, and I'm going to start taking a couple of practice strokes to kind of gauge how firm I need to make my swing. So I get up, kind of visualize this putt going in, breaking left to right. I have a couple of putting strokes here. I set up, aim at that spot, and hope for the best. I hope this tip was helpful. My name is Matt Jordan. I'm the head golf professional at Stream Song Resort. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for being sweet. Thank you for being sweet. being sweet.
Thank you for being sweet.
When you follow the 5 safety steps to slow the spread of COVID-19, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting the heart and soul of Polk County, Florida's sweetest spot.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central, this fourth and final segment. I'm Neal Duncan, that's Kris Keprios, and this fourth segment is brought to us by Spring Hill Suites Lakeland, but great partner of tourism and sports marketing.
Yeah, great new property in Polk County. Glad to
Yeah.
have them.
And they were actually part of the video we just saw, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes, they are, yeah.
And the Be Sweet campaign, and as we do the local update here, we're going to talk to Kris, actually. He's going to be our
Fourth guest.
You're going to be our
See,
fourth
I told you you
guest.
needed the ratings.
That's right. That's right. But, you know, Visit Central Florida, the Be Sweet campaign, clearly connected to COVID-19 and things that we all should be doing right now to get through this pandemic. So let's talk a little bit about what the Be Sweet campaign is and kind of the genesis of it.
Yeah, really. Last time, actually, we talked earlier. The last time I was on the show, I was on talking about just the recovery efforts on the tourism side for Polk County, and really, this is a part of that. And it's a process that morphs as we go along. You know, back when all this started in March, the world has changed. So since then, our staff has been following all the data that comes in literally on a daily basis of consumer sentiment and people that we want to bring here to Polk County. Are they ready to travel? And one of the things we're seeing over and over and over again is if people that want to travel, feel comfortable traveling now, they want to know what the destination they're going to is doing to help them stay safe. So that's really where this campaign was born out of, is ensuring not only that we want our residents to be safe, we want the spread to go down, the numbers to go down, but we also want it to be a safe destination for our visitors. So really was kind of born out of that idea, and I think it's a great campaign and something that we're going to continue on for. Hopefully we don't have to do it too long. Hopefully the numbers go down and this all goes away, but we will continue it on as long as we have to again, number one, ensure our residents are safe, and then it creates a safe destination for our visitors.
Absolutely, and we've long talked about the importance of PGTV. And one of the reasons we do Sports Central is to get the information out there to our local residents of all the things that there are to see and do in Polk County, because that knowledge allows for that message to, you know, ambassadors to be throughout Polk County. So PGTV and the Board of County Commissioners and all the folks that make this possible, we certainly say thank you. But as far as advertising, typically not something that Visit Central Florida does in market necessarily. Now, promoting events and having that conversation, but actually advertising in market is a little bit different, right?
Yeah, we are completely funded by people staying overnight in hotels, motels, vacation homes, things like that. So yeah, usually people that live in the county aren't going to see our message because those aren't the people we're targeting to come and stay overnight. This is, we talked earlier in the show about this with Drew and with really everyone. We live in a different world now, so we are doing things we've never done before across the board. So that's why it is so important. We want to make sure our residents know how to stay safe. And obviously, we've all heard these 5 steps over and over, but it doesn't hurt to continue to put that message out there. Some of the things we have in the future for this campaign, we have some branded Be Sweet masks that we're going to be able to bring out into the community. People can get a free mask. So I think everybody has one by now, but it doesn't hurt to have another one in the repertoire because you have to keep washing them. But we'll be doing that. But really, it's again just about creating a safe destination. and we've known since the beginning, we have to have empathy because people are different. Some people are ready to travel, some don't want to travel until there's a vaccine. But for those that are ready, we want to make sure that we have a safe community for them to come to and to experience all the great things we always talk about that we have and that are back open again. And really the B Suite, that came from, and again, this is a great thing about being able to advertise locally, so now our local residents can be our best ambassadors. They know the message that we're putting out there to visitors. We promote ourselves as Florida's sweetest spot, not only because of our location is a sweet spot to be in, but also the citrus we have here and all the things that we have to do that are sweet. So that's our current campaign. So to be able to broadcast that locally is a good thing for us because we can create more and more brand ambassadors. So when they have family coming, they know exactly what there is to do here, and they can start to tell them about some of those sweet spots to go to.
Well, I know we talked about it last time you were on as a guest, talking about the open spaces, and we talked to Brock about it with the sport of golf, and again, in that sweet spot, that's what's Polk County has long been known for is its open spaces. And you look at Holloway Park and disc golf and the 5K and the different trails, and you look at Bach Tower Gardens, look at their numbers and look at the things that they offer there. So it's connecting health and safety. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's connecting health and safety along with all those natural open spaces, natural social distancing activities that are available in Polk County.
Yeah, definitely, and that's really the goal of what we do on a daily basis. But yeah, like you said, as part of this new campaign, the B Suite campaign, and it goes back again, like you said, to the support we have from the Board of County Commissioners, county management, to our TDC board, to be able to go out and every community in Polk County, and that's part of our charge as well, is making sure that people that are coming to visit know, okay, Lakeland has a mandatory mask order in place, Winter Haven.
Right.
So to pull, as a county agency, to pull all of those resources together and kind of be a unifying voice. And we've had a chance to do that with this campaign, and I think it's going to be something that serves us for a long time, and that does a great job of explaining, again, what residents and visitors alike can do to stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a campaign that you will see. You'll see it here in the Polk County market, as well as other areas where natural advertising is taking place. But you'll also see it change a little bit, because as this continues to change in recommendations, CDC, government level, state level, all those things. So keep paying attention to those messages, whether it's on this show, whether it's another show on PGTV, or through local advertising, because it continues to evolve, it'll change. So don't think you just already know what that particular campaign is. Make sure that you're tuned in to what the latest and the most up-to-date information.
So you already have one of the 5 steps down. Know what the guidelines are. Keep up to date with guidelines. So there you go. That's one of the 5 steps to B Suite in Polk County. So,
real quick, Kris, other than the B Suite campaign, remind our viewers where they can get more information on all the things to see and do in Polk County.
Great question, because I wanted to talk about this anyway. We have a brand new, newly designed website. It's visitcentralflorida.org. Literally launched about a week ago. So you can go on there and same great information, but it looks great. It's a lot more user friendly. Well, it was user friendly before, but now it's even better. So always trying to stay up to date on the most current things. So visitcentralflorida.org.
Yeah, Jessica and the whole team did a great job. Real quick, some show sponsors. We want to thank Balmoral Resort, Harborside, the Trophy Shop, Cleveland Heights Golf Course, and Extended Stay America. Of course, you can always listen to the radio version of Sports Central every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Talk 1430 and Talk 96.7. We want to thank our great partners at Hall Communications. Again, visit centralflorida.org or centralfloridasports.com, or give us a call at 863-551-4750. The next edition of Sports Central will come to you live on Friday, August 21st.
Without us on it, though, probably. Unless they call us because the ratings were so good.
I wonder if we need to get those. We might just be back. But again, next live show, August 21st. For Kris Keprios, I'm Neal Duncan. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you again next time.